Benton High School Jazz Band. So everybody please give them a We're going to be led tonight in the opening prayer by Mr. Bamberg. We'll be led in the pledge by Ms. Darby. But first, I'd ask Superintendent Downey to let us know of any special prayer requests.
Thank you, President Cheatham. Michelle Tugwell, the Bossier High School Assistant Principal, lost her mother last week. Margaret Petty passed away on December 4th. Our own employee at Stockwell, Wendy Hendricks, elementary school teacher, is continuing her cancer treatment. Michael Pedroti, our Houghton Middle School Assistant Principal, is at home recovering, waiting to go back to MD Anderson for a reevaluation and possibly more treatments. And then we have several others not mentioned that are having struggles, and please remember those people.
Thank you, Mr. Downey.
Let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, thank you for today, Lord. Thank you for all that you do for us on a daily basis. Lord, I want to pray for this board as we do the work for the Bossier Parish school system tonight, Lord, and let us use your wisdom to make our decisions, Lord. Lord, I want to lift up these families. I want to lift up the Tugwell family with the loss of a mother, Lord, that you just be with that family and comfort that family through this time in their life, Lord. I want to lift up Ms. Hendricks and Mr. Pedroti and their families as they go through a battle with cancer, Lord, and we know that you're the great healer, and Lord, we just ask that your will be done in both of those situations, Lord. Be with us tonight and the rest of this week. In your precious name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Please join me with the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item 1.02, approval of the minutes of the regular session of the board for November 21st, 2019.
So moved.
Have a motion by Ms. Darby, a second by Mr. Wiggins. Please vote. Motion carries. Item 1.03, approval of the agenda of the regular session of the board for December 12th, 2019.
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Smith, second by Mr. Dean. Please vote. Motion carries. Item 2.01, recognition Bossier Parish Schools Good News, presented by Sonia Bales, Public Relations Liaison.
Good evening, President Cheatham, Superintendent Downey, to all of our school board members and our audience here this evening. I want to begin by thanking and applauding the Benton High School Jazz Band one more time under the direction of Evan McCormick. Fabulous music, beautiful music to get us in the holiday mood. I want them to know that they have a standing invitation to come play for us at every school board meeting, that they can fit us into their schedule. So thank you so much again to Mr. McCormick and the Benton High Jazz Band. You'll also notice the slideshow that is playing there overhead from last weekend's Red Kettle Challenge. And I just want to extend a big thanks to our school board members, to all of our employees, and our many students who rang the bell and manned the kettles on behalf of the Salvation Army, as well as to all of you who donated generously. We were at 9 locations throughout Bossier Parish last Saturday, which was an expansion of the number of locations from previous years. Caddo Schools was also manning 9 locations across the river. You see, the Red Kettle Challenge is in its 6th year, and it's a friendly competition between our 2 school districts to see which side of the river can collect the most in a single day. And the good news is the money is still being counted by the Salvation Army, and we are eagerly awaiting the results. Hopefully that means that so much was collected that it's taking them several days to be able to count it. And they can take as long as they want, as long as we come out the winner, right? No, I'm kidding. But no matter who gets the bragging rights when they announce if Caddo or Bossier Schools won, it's a win-win. not only for our neighbors who will get the much needed services that they need, not just during the holidays, but year round, but for each of us who left after ringing with a satisfaction right here, knowing that it is better to give than to receive. So thanks again to everybody who participated in the Red Kettle Challenge, and to our school board members and superintendent and assistant superintendent who did it with gusto, even in pink bunny costumes. He's not here tonight for me to be able to tease about that, but we have the pictures for proof. We also have several students and employees here with us this evening that we want to recognize for some truly amazing accomplishments and actions. And we begin with Emmett Antwine from Airline High School. Emmett, would you please join me? I am so excited about this. I tell you what, he's a rock star. He is a senior at Airline High School, and a word of caution, you do not want to get into an argument with him because he will win, hands down. That's because Emmett is not only a senior this year, but he is dually enrolled with Bossier Parish Community College, and he is part of the BPSB debate team. Now, this is where it gets really impressive. He is the 5th-ranked junior varsity intercollegiate debater in the nation. Now, that is according to the International Public Debate Association. Nationally, less than 0.1% of intercollegiate debaters are dual-enrolled high school students. Less than 0.1%. And as BPSB's debate coach points out, those seniors often dominate the national top 25. We're talking about college seniors, not high school seniors. So pretty impressive. He has already earned 5 individual awards at tournaments in Louisiana and Mississippi. And Emmett, that may have changed. Has that changed about the 5? Okay, we're still at 5. I just want to make sure because he's been in some other competitions, and he is headed to the national championship tournament in Tennessee in March. But we are so proud of Emmett for his success in debate. I'm thinking you're going to go into law, maybe? You have a very promising future in it if you do. And I just want to be able to commend him. We have a special award to be able to commemorate his achievements. Coldwell Banker sponsors the Award of Excellence program. And we have these special medals that we want to be able to give to Emmett on behalf of Coldwell Banker Gosley and Bossier Schools. It is the Award of Excellence for Inspiration, Imagination, and Innovation for 2019-20, and it's our honor to bestow this on you. How awesome is that? 5th ranked in the nation, and then he still has the national competition coming up. You know, tonight we're also honoring several athletes from Parkway High School, not only for their athleticism, but their exemplary academic records. These 7 students excel both on the field and in the classroom, and they are being recognized by the state. The Louisiana High School Athletic Association All Academic Award Program recognizes the academic excellence of senior student athletes who have attained a 3.5 GPA or higher by placing them on the composite all-academic team or class all-academic team. The bar is set especially high for composite team honors. A student athlete's 6-semester GPA must have an unweighted 4.0 grade point average, and they cannot have a B on their transcript. It is my honor to introduce to you 7 athletes from Parkway who have made this prestigious list. They are Anulet Falcon, Anna Grace Hale, Heather Landry, Margaret McAllister, Ashley Morton, Diana Tunick, and Sunny Reed. Would you please all come forward? President Cheatham, I would love for you to come help me with a special award here, and also our Vice President, Mr. Bamberg. So these ladies, and we're missing the gentleman, Sonny Reed, but they are being inducted as Class 5A All Academic Girls and Boys Cross Country honorees, each with an impressive 4.0 grade point average. They are going to be honored at future LHSAA events, and Bossier Schools, though, gets the privilege first to be able to recognize them with our 2019-20 Award of Excellence. And we will send one also for Sonny. I know that you all have a soccer game, I think it is, tonight. So he may already be there, I don't know. But they're busy. They're not just in cross country, but they play soccer as well. And so we're going to let them get out the door. But let's give them a big round of applause. 4.0 GPAs, 6 semesters straight, no Bs on their transcripts, not to mention outstanding athletes. Congratulations again, and what a fantastic senior year. You may need one more too. Do you have one? The person who's not here? Okay. Congratulations, let's give them a big round of applause. And good luck at tonight's game. You know, last month, the Louisiana Department of Education released report cards for schools as well as early childhood performance profiles. LDOE has sent certificates for our local 2018-19 Birth to 3 honor roll recipients. And at this time, I would like to ask that Bossier Schools Title I Instruction Coordinator, Kathy Martin, come forward to present them to our community network partners. Please welcome Ms. Martin.
Superintendent Mr. Downey, School Board President Mr. Cheatham, and school board members. I am Kathy Martin, and I work with Linda Thorne-Lewis and Dr. Nicole Bourgeois with the Curriculum Department. Tonight I am representing the Bossier Early Childhood Community Network Lead Agency. In November, LDOE released report cards as well as the early childhood performance profiles. On a scale of 1 to 7, with 7 being the highest, Bossier Early Childhood Community Network scored a 4.78. In 1915-16, we have improved to 5.22 this year. Our score of 5.22 is above the state average of 5.14. Impressive. I am here to present 3 of our community partners their certificates in receiving the 2018-2019 Birth to 3 honor roll recognition. First site is all about kids. Thank you. All About Kids is hereby recognized for the performance in early childhood quality as measured by the State Board of Elementary and Secondary Performance Standards, and in recognition of their achievement is hereby named 2018-2019 Birth to 3 Honor Roll. Congratulations on your honor, and do you have anything to share? You want to have your staff at least stand? Our second site is First Friends, located in Bossier City. Would you please join me at the podium? First Friends is hereby recognized for their performance in the early childhood quality as measured by the State Board of Elementary and Secondary Performance Standards, and in recognition of their achievement is hereby named 2018-19 Birth to 3 Honor Roll. Congratulations on this honor. Felicia, she wants a picture of you. Our last program partner is Bossier Office of Community Services Head Start. Would you please join me? Bossier Office of Community Services Early Head Start is hereby recognized for the performance in early childhood quality as measured by the State Board of Elementary and Secondary Performance Standards, and in recognition of their achievement is hereby named 2018-2019 Birth to Three Honor Roll. Congratulations on your honor. Do you have anything to share?
I am not actually the Early Head Start Director. I'm the Executive Director of Bossier Office of Community Service. So I would like to give this honor to our Early Head Start Director, Ms. Tony Lanier, for the awesome job, and her staff. She's the only one present, for the awesome job and the staff and the great works they have done. Thank you. Tony, I want her to, is it okay? I know, right? Thank you.
Well done to all of our schools and program partners for their dedication to the young children of Bossier Parish.
Congratulations again to our recipients, and a special thanks also to Ms. Martin and her department for their oversight of the Early Childhood Education Network. So congratulations and job well done to you as well. You know, when you are with dozens of children every day, we never know what types of situations that we might encounter. And that was the case for Ms. Tanisha McGee, who is a paraprofessional at Central Park Elementary. Ms. McGee, would you please come forward? Ms. McGee was on lunch duty recently when she noticed a child suddenly in distress. And I'd like to roll the video and direct your attention overhead for a moment. As you can see, Miss McGee jumped into action and performed the Heimlich maneuver several times on this third grade student before the obstruction was cleared. And it happened so fast, you'll notice that most people didn't even realize that that was happening until afterward. But thanks to her quick actions and just being so quick on her feet and observant in nature, she saved this third grade child's life. And although we do not have a life-saving award here at Bossier Schools, we certainly do want to honor her with the Award of Excellence Commendation. She was prepared. She'd been trained, and her training came into play, and it's when you least expect it. And she embodies what our employees do every day. And so we just want to commend her again, thank her. And thankfully, we have that child here with us today, and he's here to be able to celebrate the holidays with his family. So again, Tanisha McGee, thank you. You know, when you think about the qualities that a coach should possess, Jared Stoll checks every box. The Benton Middle School football and PE coach is described as a motivator, an encourager, a mentor, a confidant, and someone who leads with his whole heart. For 18 years, Coach Stoll has made a profound impact on young men's lives, teaching them not just about the game, but about the real things that matter in life. Coach Stoll's path with Landon Sandifer first crossed in PE class, when Landon would see the coach and his players practicing and watching football film. And although Landon is nonverbal, he had a way of expressing his dream of playing football by pointing to that screen and then pounding his chest and going to get a football so Coach Stoll would throw it to him. Well, as a father himself with a son with special needs, Coach Stoll got an idea, and he brought Russian football coach Corvée Winbush in on it. And so let me set this up. The Benton Tigers were playing their last 8th grade game of the season against the Russian Rams, and they were near the end of the 4th quarter when something played out on that field that spectators will not soon forget. And if we can please roll the video. And there should be sound too.
Come on, you can get louder than that. Number 1 with the rush. He's at the 5. He's in. With his first Benton Tigers touchdown. What a moment.
Of the game that night, and he won the game for his Benton Middle School Tigers. And you'll notice that the Russian Rams football players, they helped him get it across the finish line. It was truly not just a one-team effort, but both teams and the coaches coming together. Teacher Shelley Malone said, for a few moments, our whole community was focused on something much bigger than a score, being the best athlete, the prettiest cheerleader, or whatever. Hundreds of kids celebrated together selflessly. Another person added, he has an eye for the underdog and effortlessly finds ways to help celebrate all boys and girls, not just the athletic and academic stars. And Landon's dad, Brad Sandifer, wrote, he gave me, a father of a special needs son, a special moment that I will always remember. I've always thought when I have a son, he would play all the sports I did when I was a kid. I realized the older that Landon got that there's some things that he would never be able to do. I never thought I would ever see Landon play football, and Coach Stoll let him make the last play of the game of the season. Seeing him out on that football field, doing that made me so proud. After that game-changing night, more than 90 people teamed up to nominate Coach Stoll for our Bossier School's Gold Star Award. And it is with great honor that we present Bossier School's Gold Star winner for the month of November to you tonight, Coach Jared Stoll. Let me tell you, he checks all the boxes. It's our honor to present you this Award of Excellence medal, and I'd also like to call Jill Valentine with Bossier Federal Credit Union forward. Bossier Federal Credit Union is our sponsor of the Gold Star Award, and she has a commemorative plaque for you too.
Congratulations, and thank you for all that you've done for Benton.
Congratulations again to you. Let me just say, he leads completely with his whole heart. And I think everybody will agree that Coach Stoll understands the true spirit of the game and life. Thank you, Coach Stoll, and congratulations again. Well, Coach Stoll forms relationships with students through sports. Teresa Carey connects with her students via their stomachs. And Miss Teresa, as everyone calls her affectionately, is the longtime cafeteria manager at Bossier Elementary, and let me just say that food is her love language. She has been there for more than 30 years. So that means that she has fed the parents and even grandparents of today's bear kittens that come through her cafeteria line. She knows them all. But Miss Carey does much more than just put food in children's stomachs and on their plates. She nourishes their souls. Dr. Norcia Lacey, who is the principal at Bossier Elementary, says that their students frequently visit Miss Teresa's home. You see, she lives in the neighborhood there, and she feeds them just as she does in the cafeteria. Her mother-in-law makes handmade mittens and gloves that Miss Teresa then donates to the children of Bossier Elementary. She takes students' jackets and uniforms home to wash. She decorates the cafeteria for every season, and she rewards students with treats for knowing their math facts when she quizzes them as they go through her cafeteria line. One day she wrote words of affirmation on the bananas that all 400 plus children received for lunch. And she is the first one to volunteer her time at school events as well as to cook on her own for teacher luncheons and in-services. As one person pointed out, a recipe card can be followed by anyone. However, when you eat food with extra ingredients that make it taste extraordinary, you must understand that her extra ingredients are love, compassion, and living in her purpose. Miss Carey's daughter, Sharon, fondly remembers growing up and spending a lot of time in the cafeteria before and after school. She writes, "My mom is more than a cafeteria manager to her students. She is a constant in the lives of the students that she serves. The students at Bossier can count on her to be there every day. She refuses to ever miss work because her kids need her, greeting them with a smile. My mom understands that some of the students she feeds depend on her for their only food for the day. She shows her students compassion and understanding, and she gives them all the extra love that they crave." Cassie Rogers summed it up, perhaps the best, by saying, "It is not every day that you get to witness a real-life superhero, an extraordinary human with superhuman abilities that they use, someone who is actually living every day in the purpose that they are put on this earth for. With just one encounter involving Teresa Carey, you'll 100% understand why she is more than deserving of this Gold Star Award." We could not agree more, and we are so proud to now introduce you to our December Gold Star winner, Miss Teresa Carey, and I'd like to ask her to come forward. I also want to ask Carla Horton, Child Nutrition Supervisor, to come, and she's going to share a few words.
First of all, I just want to say that Miss Teresa is so humble. She actually emailed us when she got word that we were going to nominate her for this award. This award, it may seem that we do it often, but it is only 9 people a year that get the Gold Star Award, and we have over 3,000 employees. So do that math. That is 0.003% of Bossier Parish employees get this award, and so it is a huge deal. That's 1/3%, and I cannot think of anyone more deserving than Miss Teresa. I lovingly call her Mother Teresa because that is what she is to us all. I won't go on all the wonderful things she does. She manages her kitchen so well. She has the smallest kitchen. She doesn't even have an office. It's a closet that the doors have been taken off. She has found a way to make it work, and she makes it work with a smile. She is one of our best managers. We never, ever, ever have to worry about anything. She built up her staff. She works with the kids, but that's what this is about, is the kids. And she didn't want this recognition because she didn't want the focus to be on her. And so I thought about it, and my office thought about it, and what we wanted to do was let her get this award despite her protests of not wanting to be in front of everybody. And Dr. Lacey and the whole, staff agreed. But we want to take this to start a charity in her name called Teresa's Heart. Her mother-in-law used to knit mittens, and the kids go by her office and do this. And she doesn't have the mittens anymore because her mother-in-law is no longer with us. And so I have a big gift for you. This is a bag full of mittens and hats to start off Teresa's Heart charity that we want to carry on. Anyone can donate to this charity. You can drop it off at Bossier Elementary. You can do it at our central offices. And Miss Jill Valentine has said that we can use their Bossier Federal Credit Union's branches to be able to drop off. And so they are in need of all sizes. They are in need of all those things. So that's something that we want to do to honor Mother Teresa and share her heart with all of the kids in Bossier Parish. So Miss Teresa, we are so proud of you and we love you.
Stay with me, Mother Teresa. At this time, I'd like to ask Jill Valentine to come forward for a plaque presentation to you.
I know it's not as good as milk and cookies, but. Well, and I have something else to share, if that's okay. Just to begin, I mean, Bossier Federal has done this for almost 8 years, and it has been a touching journey that all of our employees have shared with the community, and I'm so glad that these stories get to be told, because they need to be told. People need to know what all of our community members and the school system employees are doing for our community and for the children here in Bossier Parish. In light of what we learned about Mother Teresa, we have decided to open an account at Bossier Federal, and anybody can donate into that account. And our employees alone, in just 3 days, have already donated over $600. So we plan on kind of in the new year, in January, we're going to go on a shopping spree and buy a ton of coats, jackets, hats, scarves, mittens, and everything for the children of Bossier Parish.
If that doesn't bring tears to your eyes, I don't know what will. Thank you so much, Jill, Bossier Federal Credit Union, and we also want to award you the Award of Excellence.
Thank you.
The epitome of excellence, may I just say. And hopefully this will grow even more. She has a news interview next Tuesday with KSLA. Begrudgingly. I just want to say the kids love her. They love Coach Stowell. And both of them are excellent examples, as well as teachers to all of us, that it's better to give than to receive. But you know what? They're receiving much more, because they were receiving something much greater than gold in return, because they are loved by so many. Congratulations to all of you, and happy holidays, everybody. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Ms. Bales. Item 3.01, consider, if the crowd doesn't want to stick around for business, you're more than welcome to step out at this time.
Shane, I think you got BYL. You got BYL students here.
Yeah. Call. And are they leaving? If you're with the Bossier Youth Leadership Program, stand by for 1 second and introduce yourself to us. As soon as they close the doors, we'll let y'all introduce yourself and tell us what school you're from. I'm not saying I caught y'all trying to leave early. I'm just saying I want y'all to stand up and introduce yourself. We can go ahead and do that right now. Y'all stand up. Tell us who you are and what school you go to. Thank y'all very much for being here. If you haven't had your sheet signed, please see one of us once the meeting's over, okay? Thank y'all. Item 3.01, consider election of president of the Bossier Parish School Board for year 2020. And board members, we before the meeting started today, I passed around a sheet, and at this sheet it just says if you would like to run for office of president or vice president for 2020, President Cheatham will read these names aloud during the election item on the agenda. And at this time, since we're on the president, we have one person's name. Mr. Dennis Bamberg is the only name that is here for president. So instead of collecting the little forms that I passed out, that was in case we had two or more, I think we'll just do a motion and a second for Mr. Bamberg as president for 2020.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Bass. We have a second by Mr. Bullard for our 2020 president of the Bossier Parish School Board to be Dennis Bamberg. Please vote. The motion carries with one person abstaining, Mr. Cheatham. It's just payback for voting against me last year, Mr. Bamberg. Congratulations to our 2020 president, Mr. Dennis Bamberg. We're going to move right along to item 3.02, consider election of vice president of the Bossier Parish School Board for year 2020. Once again, this sheet of paper was passed around, and we have one name for vice president, and that's Miss Tammy Smith. So at this time, I would like to entertain a motion and a second to make Miss Tammy Smith our 2020 vice president.
I'll make a motion to approve. Second.
We have a motion by Ms. Darby, a second by Mr. Dean. Please vote.
I bet she can get elected unanimously, though.
And it is unanimous. And I believe, I don't have this in my notes, but I believe we will, at our first meeting in January is when we will turn over the thing to Mr. Bamberg and Ms. Smith. So congratulations to both of you. I know you both will do a very fine job, and excited to see y'all lead in 2020. Item 3.03, request notification of opportunity for public comment related to Bossier Parish School Board coordinating funding requests to the Louisiana Department of Education in accordance with Act 3 of Early Childhood Education, presented by Kathy Martin, Title I Instructional Coordinator.
You get me twice tonight. Superintendent Mr. Downey, School Board President Mr. Cheatham, and school board members. Again, I'm Kathy Martin, and I work with Linda Thorne-Lewis and Dr. Nicole Bourgeois with the Curriculum Department. I am representing the Bossier Early Childhood Community Network lead agency that consists of partners serving publicly funded children in Bossier Parish. Our partners are Bossier Head Start, Bossier Early Head Start, Child Care Centers, and all of the pre-K classes within our Bossier schools. Chapter 709, Part B of Bulletin 140 states that the lead agency shall provide an opportunity for each publicly funded program in the community network and the general public in the coverage area of the community network to comment on the proposed funding requests prior to submission to the department, and shall include documentation of this process in the funding requests. This school board meeting allows for public comment to be submitted. Are there any questions? Thank you.
Item 3.04, request approval of trip requests.
These are in order, Mr. President.
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Smith,
Second.
second by Mr. Bass. Please vote. Motion carries. Item 3.05 and item 3.06, the board may enter to executive session pursuant to LARS 4217 A2 to discuss strategy in the litigation styled Joe Driscoll Sr. et al. Versus Bossier Parish School Board et al. Bearing the docket number 157665 and currently pending in the 26th Judicial District Court. Item 3.06, which is also will be executive session. The board may enter into executive session pursuant to LARS 4217A2 to discuss strategy in the litigation styled Christy Causey versus Ace American Insurance Company et al. Bearing the docket number 156803-D in the 26th Judicial District Court.
Mr. President, make a motion that we go into executive session at this time per the requirements of 3.05 and 3.06.
We have a motion by Mr. Buller. We have a second by Ms. Smith. Please vote. Motion carries. We are now in executive session.